them on sunews.net. For weather, we're looking at a low of 52 degrees and a high of 78 degrees. That's your news wrap. I'm Cole Garney.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's main event.
Where's the Friday?
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious...
On this blessed Friday, let us give thanks.
So, another Friday is upon us.
WTF, I'm Rob Birdsey. How you guys doing? I have a really good guest today. I'm super excited about this one actually. It's Sam Johnston. We're going to be talking about her life and what you've been through. I had your man in your... We'll get into that in a sec. Let me talk about this first. We are on YouTube. Please go visit us there. You'll see our faces and you'll see what we're up to and what the studio looks like. It's at Widowed, Trio and Freedom. So that's Widowed, I'm a widowed father. Trio, I have 2 little boys. Freedom, I hope this is eventually going to equal to freedom because then I can travel and do things like life's been pretty tough up to this point. It's starting to feel pretty good. I have a bunch of followers so far, and I feel so blessed to be able to even bring this to you guys. So please go to Widow Trio and Freedom. Please like, share, and subscribe if you don't mind to support my channel because you will be supporting me and my little boys for us to have a better future. Sam, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
So let's talk about your journey here. Most people think that you're from Cedar, but you're not. So we'll start there. We'll just uncover that one.
Okay. So I was born in Northern California. I grew up in a town called Moraga. My great-grandpa started a cattle ranch, so my mom had lived there her whole life. She had never left the ranch. She actually went to college like 10 minutes away, and she moved out her freshman year to go to college, and she would run home on the weekends and stuff because she didn't like being 10 minutes away from the ranch, which is just a funny story. But yeah, so I grew up on the cattle ranch, and then when my mom took the job here, we moved in 2018. So I was going into my sophomore year of high school.
Oh, and you did, so coming over here, and when did you start playing ball? Was it over there?
Yeah, I went to my first college basketball game when I was 7 days old. So that's kind of funny, but I didn't start playing on like a team until 2nd grade.
Okay.
But I would always go shoot hoops or whatever whenever
So you were
I
always
could.
about
Yeah.
it. Passion was brewing.
Yep.
I'm sure you probably got influences from other people,
Yep.
which we'll get into soon. But that's a good thing. So you're shooting hoops. You're playing. You're having some fun. In Moraga, did you have success with it there, or is it just you were just having a good time? And did you get more serious out here?
I would say it was more serious actually over there. Starting in middle school, I played on like a travel team, which is, it's pretty common actually for girls that keep playing and go on to play in college. But I think starting in 7th grade, I played on an AAU team, and we would travel all around the country to play in front of like college coaches and stuff to get exposure.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. How old are you when you're doing this?
I want to say it started in 7th grade, but it really picks up more in high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Does that cost, like, who pays for that?
So your parents pay when you're in like middle school and stuff, and then once you're in high school, if you make like one of the better teams, then the coaches of those teams will kind of pay for you to be on their team.
Huh.
Yeah, which is cool.
Wow. So you just got to work your butt off to get to that point, and then things happen.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Did you play anything else?
No, I mean, I played soccer, I want to say like kindergarten, 1st grade, maybe 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And then I mean, I was fully devoted to basketball even back then, so it was kind of pointless.
That's pretty good. So now bringing you into this point, watching you play on the field, on the court field, you're a go-getter. You rally. I've seen you being on the bench, and so you're like just watching like a mad person. And then, well, it's good. Like you're obsessed. You know what I mean? But as soon as you hit the call, like if you've ever had a spell, because usually you're out there. It's fun to see how far you'll rally people, and everyone's just like you lift the whole field. Like you guys are on it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of fun to see what you have. So and your understanding of the game is phenomenal. Like it's going to be with you forever, and probably the genes that you pass on and everything else. So it's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had any hard times with that?
With
anything, I suppose, with life, is it always been on the up and up, or have you had some low moments where it was kind of tricky to get out of?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, my freshman year of high school, I was starting on varsity, which was pretty cool. My high school in California was a really good, like, top program. And then I actually got a concussion and kind of had to miss, like, a week or whatever. And then from there, I didn't play as much, which is kind of a given. Like, if people step up and play good, then it's harder to keep your spot when you've been out. So I'd say that was definitely, like, one of my hardest moments, just like losing my spot.
Wow.
And then when I moved here, just the move in general, you go from having that team that I was telling you about where you travel around the country, and now you're in Little Cedar City trying to still get college coaches to notice you and all that.
Yeah, and this is a little place too.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows everyone, so it's hard to sort of crack that nut to get in, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How was school when you got out here, and how long did it take you to build that back again? Because you did some pretty phenomenal things in school too, right? Like in high school and that.
Yeah, so when I moved here, the high school I went to, Cedar High, they had never won a girls basketball state championship, and so obviously that was the goal. And I played 2 years at Cedar High, and both years we actually won the state championship, which was really cool.
Wow.
But yeah, school was good too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you definitely lifted all that up and got going with it.
Yeah.
Was there some key plays that you sort of gelled with really well, or do you think it was your influence that you brought to that game?
I mean, yes, but also we did have a really solid team. The competition in California is a lot harder than it is here, so
Oh, wow.
coming here it wasn't as competitive as in California, but we also had a lot of solid players. Like, everyone had their role, and we kind of just gelled perfectly.
That's awesome. I'm sure it plays. I mean, you got so many moving parts in basketball, and having teams and all that sort of stuff. So I'm sure it's a bit of everyone bringing you to that point. So you've traveled a lot. How was it when you were younger traveling? Was that hard? Was that tricky, or did you feel like you had enough company to sort of get you through things?
Yeah, so when I was younger and would travel, it was always like with a parent. So whether my mom was able to come with me if she happened to be recruiting at that tournament or whatever, or my dad actually took me to a lot of my tournaments, which is awesome. Yeah.
Shout out to your parents.
Yep.
Well, I know one of them,
Yeah.
and she's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear good things about your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's super fun.
Yeah, Lyle sort of spoke about that a little bit. So, traveling around, doing all that sort of stuff, at what point did you feel like, I'm not ever going to do anything else, this is me? Was this at like a very young age for you?
Yeah, probably when I first started playing, when you're little, your dreams to play the rest of your life, like you don't think of the bigger picture at all.
Yeah.
So I think when I was younger, I dreamed of playing in the WNBA and all that. Like, basketball was just everything to me.
Do you still dream of that?
No, not really.
Really?
I mean, it'd be cool, but just kind of accepting reality at this point. And I mean, I could have options to play overseas, which I still kind of think, like, way back and forth if that's something that I'm going to want to do after I'm done. But yeah, the WNBA isn't really realistic.
Yeah, it's so tricky for, I mean, for men, we're going to go for that, and we'll shoot for the hills and off we go. But for women, it's like, I would like that, but I have a good partner, and I kind of like kids, and there's this thing that's inside of you that's TikTok and like a crazy person, you know what I mean? Like, so, and I don't mean crazy person as if any women are crazy, please don't think that. But you guys have a lot of challenges in that aspect, because you have there is a clock. there is a timeline, and it is fun to have kids, and it's fun to be a mom. You know what I mean? Is that something that's going for you, or is it? I mean, because you're 3 years into a relationship, right?
Yep, 3 years.
That's pretty serious at this stage.
Yeah, pretty much all of college. My freshman year, we were like best friends for a year, and then we started dating. So yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
well
best.
said, everybody. He's a good dude, and you can check out him as well. He's in there. So 3 years you guys have been going out. We'll talk about that for 2 seconds, and I'll move on.
No, you're good.
But he's going in places as well in sports.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just his attitude alone is phenomenal. The way how he takes on life is beautiful. You know what I mean? And most people don't have that. I'm sure we all have demons and we have edges and things like that, and I'm sure you've seen some of them with him, but he seems very grounded, very well-rounded, and I think if anyone could crack anything, that guy is going somewhere. And even Coach thinks that too. So, what do you think about that?
I would say from the moment that I met Lyle, like the thing that separated him from everyone else was just like his dedication. And he's like the hardest working person I've ever met. Like if there's something that he wants, he's going to do whatever it takes to go get it. And so I think like his future in football, it's going to happen one way or another. He's going to make it happen. So I'm excited for him. This is a big year.
So does that mean that you would play, it is a big year. Does that mean that you would play a supporting role?
Yeah, so I'm actually currently in the process of planning to go to law school, so I've been taking the LSAT, really just preparing for that. If I were to want to start next year, I would have to apply by next month, and I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna take a gap year, let him kind of settle, figure out what he wants to do, whether I go play overseas for the gap year or just get a job and get some experience in the legal field.
Go play ball.
I know.
She's so good at it. These are the only reason why I even bring these questions to you, because you are that good. And I think if anyone, you shine. And it's not just, it's not favoritism. It definitely, I mean, I'm sure people from the outside looking in, I don't know much about basketball, so me coming into this whole arena and meeting certain people and then seeing you out there and then putting the puzzle pieces together, which your mum is your coach, I'm sure people probably look at that and think, hang on a minute, but you've earned everything you've ever had. And by the sounds of what we've already uncovered, you really have. I mean, you've definitely... Like, I like Formula One, and my little boys watch Formula One. I'm like, you're not racing cars, guys, because that's so expensive. But if they really did show promise into it, I probably would do everything I could to get them going in it.
Yeah.
But there's that influence. Was that like that for you with your mum?
Yeah, she's definitely influenced me. When I was younger, I actually wanted to be a college coach when I was done playing and coach with my mom. But yeah, I think I've always, like, the past couple years, I've really had my eyes set on law school and all that. So I'll definitely probably still play in, like, old lady league or whatever when the time comes. But
good.
Yeah.
Good. You remind me of, do you know Tennessee? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I had him in here a while back, and we uncovered his history, and he was the same thing.
Yeah.
Like he'd be at every basketball training with his dad, and if the guys are out on court, he'd be back watching videos, and if they were watching videos, he'd be on court pretending to play and things like that. I'm sure that's something that's very similar to your life, yeah?
Yeah, it's funny, when I was younger and I would go to all of her games when she was coaching at St. Mary's, and the best part of the game was I would go get a ball out of the locker room in like the fourth quarter and just wait on the sideline for the game to be over so I could go shoot on the court.
In front of everyone?
Well, people would leave after the game was over, but till she was done meeting with the coaches and the team and all that, I'd have like an hour to shoot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're still in that environment, you're getting that exposure. Mm-hmm. So that's, I suppose, the shell shock of being in showbiz in a sense. You know what I mean? So you're already accustomed. You're probably flying to places or busing everywhere. Is this correct? correct?
Yeah.
Like traveling all the time.
Yeah.
So you're seeing all the excitement. These are journeys. These are like
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I try to take my kids as many places as I possibly can. I don't care if most times people say, well, the norm would be just adults. I'll take my kids everywhere. You know what I mean? And I teach them exactly what I'm doing. I've had them in here talking. You know,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're just such little cuties, but they come accustomed to it. I push them out. I make them do things, and I think it's the best thing you could ever do. I feel like kids don't get a chance. They never get a chance. Every time, just even the small things. If we're in public and there's a cop, and he's doing the cop thing in public, whatever it is, I say to him, go give him a high five, say good day. You know what I mean? And they run up, hey, and the cop's like, damn, your kids are really cool. It's like, and that's what they need to be. If we go to the doctor, I make him before we go into see the doctor, because doctors are intimidating, right?
Yeah.
I tell them, what is it that we're here for? And they relay it to me. It's all right. Now you're going to tell the doctor that.
Oh.
So I make
That's
them
good.
do all the legs. Like,
Yeah.
and my little son's like, you can tell him. It's like, yeah, I can tell him, but you
It's
can't.
gonna carry
so
over.
you need to know.
Yeah, it's
Do you
gonna
know what
help
I mean?
them.
No, I think so. And
Oh,
so seeing your mum do that for you,
Yeah.
it brings you like full circle. And here you are. You're in the thick of it right now,
Yeah.
and you are that good. You rally the troops like there's no tomorrow. I've seen a couple of games. Like I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen some games last year, and we weren't looking so great. And you get out there, and before you know it, we're shooting when we're scoring.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So to have that influence, I mean, I've seen you go over there, and you're not vicious about it. You're just so organized. Everyone's like, boom, on board.
Yeah.
Like you guys go for it.
Yeah.
So to see that level of a person competing, yeah, I mean, not too many people are like that. And I know it's probably hard for you to really acknowledge it. So if you say you couldn't go to the WNBA, I beg to differ, right?
We'll see.
Huh?
We'll see.
You should. Would you try for it?
I don't know. I don't really even know how it works. Like, I
Yeah.
know with football players, they have scouts come and obviously
thing.
kind of recruit, but I don't know.
Yeah. Just got to build your presence. That's all.
Yeah.
Make noise. I mean, you guys already made a lot of noise down there.
Yeah.
And this year's looking pretty good so far,
Yeah,
right? You
hopefully
guys-
we can get back to that point this year.
Yeah. Wow, that's exciting. I hope that works out very, very well. So then, as far as that's the reason why I asked the questions about supporting Lyle versus doing what you want to do, and do you know anything about timeline? Whether like what is the age in the WNBA, I suppose, of the average player?
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd
good question,
probably say
huh?
like 28 or something.
Okay.
I think
So you got some time.
obviously women, once they have families and stuff, it's a little different. Guys
Yeah.
can keep playing, whereas
It's
for
tricky.
women it's different. There is actually a good few in the WNBA with kids and stuff, but
Sure. Yeah, why not?
I'm sure it's super hard, obviously.
Well, man, your body goes through so much.
Yeah.
So to get all that back, yeah,
Mhm.
that's tricky. My suggestion, because I know everything about
Mhm.
basketball,
Yes.
not at all. I would, if you do choose to play ball overseas,
Mhm.
I would make that choice extremely disciplined in the fact that you need to get to the right team.
Yeah.
And if you can get to the right team and make a lot of noise, I
Yeah.
think that would bring you back to the
Yeah, there's
WNBA.
only like certain places I would want to play to. Like, I don't know, just with all the scary things happening in the world,
It's
like the
nuts.
thought of leaving
Yeah.
is kind of scary. So there are certain countries that I would be open to playing in, and then
What are you thinking?
my dream place to go, whether it's playing or just visiting there, I really want to go to Switzerland. So if I had the opportunity
Yeah.
to play there, that'd be awesome. And then obviously Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been there. There's a huge basketball presence down there.
There's no money though.
There's no money.
No, it is like shout out to Australia. I love Australia. I love all of our sports, but over there they don't get paid much.
Really?
I mean, even in everything, even
Yeah.
car racing. You think they're top tier V8 supercars kicking butt, and they're not getting paid hardly anything. You come over here, and the guys that are achieving the same over here, they're getting, maybe over there they're getting 2 million, over here they're getting 30 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a big difference of
Yeah.
having sponsors behind you. But Australia is such a pretty place, and it would be such a
Yeah.
great experience.
Mhm.
So, you
Just
know,
a safe place too. I
super
think.
safe, yeah. As long as you don't go to the bars and drink and get glass in the eye or something.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Switzerland, though, that would be fun.
Yeah.
I think that would be, I mean, it'd just be pretty just to tour around there and check it out
Mhm.
anyway. Yeah. What about, I know, is it Tokyo that has a big league? Or Japan?
I have no idea. I know like England has a league. That's where Sharita, that used to play here, she went and played in England for a little bit.
How was that?
She enjoyed it. She actually wound up getting hurt and had to come home to kind of rehab and stuff. But I know she liked it. She was doing really well over there too. So.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a big thing to be thinking about. But I think you should. I really, like, these are your times right now, especially if I mean, you'd be a great mom. Let's not kid that. And especially if it worked out for you and Lyle, I think
Yeah.
you'd be great
Mhm.
together, period.
Yeah.
You know, but if you have that 1 year off,
Yeah.
go shoot for the hills. I mean, I would right now just start. I would reach out to them, to whatever team you think is good enough to go and play for,
Mhm.
and I would just say, just let them know your intentions.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I'm coming out of here soon, and I'm going to take a year off. I would love to be able to come to your country and play for a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even just state all of it. You know, while your man's working whatever he's doing out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
that's half the. Oh man, I've got to tell the people this, because half the time we don't say enough, right? And then it could be an interview, it could be an audition, it could be going for something that you really, really want, but you don't know how to attack it properly. Go reach out to the person that's in control, right? Even if it's just a, hey, how you doing? My name's Rob Birdsey, and I would like to meet you.
Yeah.
And I'm really a big fan of what you've done here, here, and here. I hope you have a great day, move on. But now they know who you are. It's
Mhm.
kind of the same thing with your teachers and things like that in classes.
Yes.
Let them know who you are. But I would suggest to reach out, do that, and then you might be able to get a year out there somewhere and then come back and either go WNBA or maybe support Lyle and have a bunch of kids and do your thing. I don't
Or
know.
law school. That's the goal.
Law school would be, law school's tricky though, right? It's a
Yeah.
lot. What would you do out of law school?
I did an internship 2 summers ago at the DA's office,
Mhm.
so prosecution. I really liked that. I obviously wouldn't know exactly until I graduated. You kind of go in, learn everything, and then depending on what areas you like the best, then you can decide what you want to do. But I really enjoyed the prosecution stuff.
Really?
So criminal law, yeah.
Wow.
I thought I wouldn't. That was like the one thing that I was like, oh, if I go to law school, the one thing I don't want to do is criminal law. And then I did an internship, and now that's
Yeah.
all I want to do. It was awesome.
Yeah. Would you defend? Would you
Prosecute.
prosecute? Okay, prosecute it is. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
You are a killer, so that makes
Yep,
sense.
there we go.
Okay, well, that's fair enough too. If that's what your heart's calling for, go do it. It's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot. I've
yeah.
had some friends become lawyers, and you just as other friends have finished school, they're still going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and building into their careers, and then you get out there and you're practicing, and it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
But I always felt like, and this is my opinion, I'm sure, taking on, like, learning all those experiences of prosecuting and what people have done, and I mean, people do some horrible things, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that bothers me because I don't want to know about that. I mean, I know it's out there and it's
Yeah.
very valid, and we need people like yourself. If you're willing to do that, great. But I don't want to live my life like that.
Yeah. I think even when I started over there, they were going over some cases, and I was like, wait, this happened in Cedar? Like,
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that.
No, it's it's horrible. But people do it.
Yep.
Yeah, there is, and this is a beautiful little town too.
I know.
Yeah, you wouldn't think. Yeah.
Which goes to show, though, that there's great prosecuting lawyers or attorneys over there that take care of it, and you don't really hear about it.
No,
So.
it's good. Yeah, so which we need, and that's valid. But how long would it take you to do that? 2 years? 3 years?
Law school's 3 years.
Yeah, it's a lot of studying.
Yep.
Either way, you'd kill it no matter what. I'm sure you'd be amazing.
Thank
I mean,
you.
what you do now is you know how to do hard things, right? You dig deep, and you go for it.
Yep.
So what else has happened through your life that we could talk about?
I mean, piggybacking off of what Lyle said the other week, I mean, my parents got divorced when I was in 2nd grade. So that was hard at the time. Now it's obviously worked out better than I ever would have imagined when I was little.
Yeah, sometimes I think that's for the better.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But you're still very supported by your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he shows up to games and things like that.
Yeah, I'm super lucky. He actually, when him and his my stepmom Cara, when they got married, it was during COVID, and instead of going on a honeymoon, they bought it's a Mercedes van that you like travel in.
Like a camper?
Yeah, not like a huge van.
No,
I forget what it's called, but it's like a smaller van.
Yeah.
And so for their honeymoon, they got married in Rhode Island. They live in California. They honeymooned all the way back, just driving, going to all these different places. And part of the investment of getting that van was to travel to most of my games. So
Shout out to
I'm gonna
Dad.
get emotional.
No, that's
That was
amazing.
like-
That's
yeah.
so beautiful. Because he does live in California, and from here, that's
It's like
almost
800 miles, I think.
yeah, that's a lot. A lot of that's 13, 14 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got a cool van to do it, and then he gets to see the countryside, and he has the means to do so,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, those vans aren't cheap, and I love Mercedes, so good work, Dad. I like that. No, they're great cars. I think they just work so well. And you go on long drives and you get out and you're like, where most people get out of their little Toyotas.
Yeah, they're walking around making lunch in there.
Yeah.
One of them's driving. It's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But he comes and he supports you.
Oh, yeah.
So that's, yeah.
My 21st birthday, we played in El Paso this past year. And I don't remember how far the drive was. I want to say it was like 12 hours. And it was just a random game. Like, it was so out of the way. Our next game was like the opposite direction, whatever. And I told them, I was like, don't come, just come to Cedar like the following week and watch a home game or whatever. And I have his location, and I was like, I know they're gonna come. So I checked their location. They're driving through LA. So then I mapped it out from where they live in California to El Paso, and I was like, you're on the highway, like on that route coming to UTEP. I know.
Dad loves you.
And they're like, don't stalk our location.
Yeah.
You're ruining the surprise. I was like, oh my goodness.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's good to have that support
Oh,
around.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, they see
so
what everyone else
thankful.
does. You're
Yeah.
good at what you do. No, that's cool. I mean, and obviously your parents are cordial.
Oh, yeah.
They get along with you.
Yeah, they get along great.
That's
Which is,
fantastic.
which is really good. Thank you for that.
Nice.
Because I've seen the opposite with friends or whatever, and it's just horrible for the kids.
Man, I hate that. Like, I get it. Sometimes it's hard. You split and you want to hate the person and all the rest of it. But at the essence of that, there was love there once. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why people carry on like they do, especially when there's a young one around. You know what I mean? It's the best thing to do is just get along. You know, I've had an experience with one of my first girlfriend. Actually, she was hard to. She was just hard to be around with, and we had a little boy, you know, and she'd cut every corner she could, and just, you know, try and beat me at everything. And I never understood it, you know. Every boyfriend she had, she tried to turn him against me, try to make him beat me up, and it's like, this is dumb. This is
Crazy girls when they're in love.
I know. Young boy that didn't know what he was doing, that's for sure. She was older than me too. I like the older ones. No, yeah. So my suggestion, people, please just know that there was loved ones there. Have some respect and keep your feelings to yourself. Just with the young ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good support. So shout out to your dad and your mom, because they're phenomenal. So your mom's a big influencer in your life now.
Yes, definitely.
She's a remarkable person.
Yeah, she's
You know,
awesome.
it's like women in general have so much love to give, period, right? And you guys seem to make the world a better place, that's for sure. If we were just a bunch of men, we'd be a bunch of barbarians beating crap out of each other, you know what I mean?
That's funny.
Yeah, so we need that loving touch, you know, and I am a firm believer, every great man that you see out there has an even stronger woman behind him, you know what I mean? And that's the truth, that's the truth. That's what I'm saying, like, so even with whatever you do, you know what I mean? I think you'd be great at all things. What would you do if Lyle took off and played in the big leagues? Like
I
that?
don't know. We'll see.
That would be crazy awesome, right?
Yeah, it would be really awesome.
Yeah. You'd be happy for him, yeah?
Oh yeah.
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 And
I'm happy for him and his family. Like, they've given everything for him to be where he is now, and
that's really cool, huh?
yeah, they're awesome. They support him just like my parents, like no other. They come to every game. They watch every game. They're totally bought into his process and all that.
I mean, the guy's got a great outlook, you know, so it's a testimony to who they are.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's the same as your mum, same as you. I'm sure your dad's the same. You buy a little band, check you guys out, travel everywhere. That's heartwarming stuff.
Yeah.
People should take a leaf out of that and incorporate that in their life. I'm trying to do the same with my boys, you know what I mean? Like I do everything with them, so. And I'm very blessed to have those guys.
Yep.
What, is there anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, I want to keep talking, but I don't know what to talk about.
Is there, as far as school goes, it's just been here. You've traveled all over. How many states you've gone to?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah?
Probably about half.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think the furthest I've been in the U.S. was Rhode Island for my dad's wedding, but
That's pretty up there, isn't it?
yeah, it was really pretty.
Yeah.
They got married like right on the water,
Yeah.
which is just completely who they are. They live on the Delta actually in California, so
Nice.
they wake surf all the time. So it was super fitting for them to be right on the water when they got married.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they dragged everyone out there to do that?
Yep, during COVID too. I was like, I don't think I can come. We have workouts. Because at the time, if you left, you had to quarantine or whatever for however long. So I told them, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come. But that was kind of
You made it work.
a bump in the road.
Rightly so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've traveled all over here. I think this has been a pretty interesting. I came over here on a work visa, right? So I landed in LA. Went to Texas for a hot second, and then landed in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh.
In February, I had a duffel bag, and I just come out of Australia, so red hot over there, summer, and I think the warmest thing that I had was like a zipper, you know, little hoodie. And I got off the plane, and it was like in February in Arkansas, and it was like a Saturday night, 11 o'clock at night. And the whole airport was shut down. And when I went there, there was shout out to these beautiful people, but there was one booth that was open with a help desk, and I said, "Hey, you got a phone book there?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." So he gives me the phone book. I always know you open the phone book. There's a map in there, right? So I'm like, "Oh, I've got to get to this place," and I'm looking through. And I'm looking at it, and it's like, "Yeah, it's that far on the map. No worries, I can walk that."
Oh no.
Yeah, no, right, yeah. And so I said, "Oh, okay." And the guy's like, "Where are you walking to?" And I showed him Benton, Arkansas, and he's like, "You're gonna walk in this weather right now?" I'm like, "Yeah. Should I? What's wrong?" And I think someone in LA bought me a poncho actually. So like a thick.
coat?
No, well it was like a blanket.
Oh yeah.
Like a proper poncho. Yeah, it was a proper heavy.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna need this, man, going out there right now. Yeah, I'm like, cool. I had no idea about when I'm over here.
Yeah.
None at all. So as I'm talking to this guy, there was a daughter and a mother, and they're sitting down and they're chuckling to each other. And I'm like, what's going on over here, ladies? You know? All Australian as I was, because I was really Australian at that stage. And they're laughing. "You're Australian, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." "Oh, my best friend's married to an Aussie." So, "Oh, cool. How cool is that?"
Yeah.
"Where are you going to?" And I showed him on the map. They're like, "That will take you about a day to walk."
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, "Oh man." And you'll probably die on the way. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. we'll give you a ride. They gave me a ride. It was like the best scenario ever,
So
right?
sweet.
So I show up there. We get to the gate of where I'm supposed to be. I'm on a work visa. I show up, and at the gate, the guy on the gate, he's looking through the list, and because there was some South Africans that were coming through, there was a couple of Aussies and a few New Zealanders, and no, don't see no Rob Birdsey here, and I could see where there was a name scribbled out, and it was my name.
What?
And I'm like, I think that's it there. And the guy's like, oh, and he's looking at it. He's like, oh yeah, that's weird. So he gives me this voucher. He goes, go over to La Quinta over there, and they'll give you a room and set you up. Here's some food vouchers. You can go eat at the Golden Corral, the pig trough, right? You go there and eat all the food you want. Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, cool, great, thanks. So we do that, and I had no money. I think I had down my last $15. This is no joke. But what had happened when I landed in LA, I called the guy that hired me to be here, and he turned around and before I left from Australia, I actually went to New Zealand first, and I spent like 2 or 3 weeks there touring around New Zealand, thinking I'm not going to be back here for a while, so I'll do it now. And one of my buddies lived out there. He's like, "Come out here first, then we can leave from there." He was coming over here as well.
Oh, nice.
So we were young, mate. We didn't care about life. We were just having fun. So I called him up, and the guy literally said, "Why don't you F off and go back to your country? You've got no work visa now. You're done."
What?
I know. I was like, and he hung up the phone. I was like, well, I'm here now. I ain't going nowhere. Right? So I have to tell this story now. We're in this story. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Anyway, so I go there. I'm set up. Monday comes around, and I'd gone on the shuttles for Sunday. I had dinner and all that. So I'm learning all this stuff out. And then Monday morning happens. Man, I was just all business. Like when I want something, I can go get something, and I will not stop until I get it. Right? And I'm going to prove to this guy that I'm smarter than the average bear. We can do this.
Yeah.
So I walk into his office, and I said, "Sir, nice to meet you. I'm Rob Birdsey. I know that you're probably upset with me, but I'm here and I'm going to show you what I can do." And he looked at me. He looked me dead in the eye. And he's a big dude. Like you can tell he's money bags, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's the list. And he handed me this list. I had to go get my car license, because I had to drive a truck, right? So I had to get the procedure was Arkansas car license, then and then apply for my social security card, and then all in this, these are the steps you do it in. And then once you've got your license and your security card's on its way, because that takes about 3 or 4 weeks, we'll send you to Texas, where you can take your driver's license from Arkansas and put it down, sit the test for the driving the truck, and then the next day after that once you pass that, then you can do your driver's ed. Yeah, no, this is crazy. So I said, no worries. That day, I jumped back in the shuttle. I got the guy to drop me off to go get my driver's license. Done. First shot, driver's license done. That day, that morning. From there, social security card, and then I left there. And we went, anywho, long story short, I got all this stuff done, and then I came back that day and said, here's this, there's the paperwork for that, and I'm ready to go for my truck license. And he looked at me, all right, okay, give me a minute. There's a truck leaving, he sends me on this truck, all right, as a passenger, down to Texas. That next morning, I got up, went to the DMV, got my the computer test done. The next day after that, got my went and did the driver's test in the truck. Never driven on the other side of the road. In a big rig, 53-foot trailer, the whole shebang. These trucks are massive, mate. Bigger than ever than home. And I got that day, and then the next day after that, I'm back up into his place, and he looked at me. He's like, "No one's ever done it that quick." All right, well, you got 3 weeks to wait, so he put me on the truck and off I went. But that was he wanted me to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've traveled from that point onwards. I just, every state I could go to that I haven't been to, I would say to my dispatch, can I go this way, can I go that way? It was amazing. So I got to see it at the ground level.
Yeah.
I will say, it's kind of like a rolling cell, though, because you don't really get to do much. You're just working and going through rigmarole of it.
Yeah.
But was it like that with you? Did you take a lot of buses, or at first, did you guys still do the buses, or?
So when I was in high school and stuff, it was mainly flights, and then your parents would get rental cars or you'd Uber or whatever. But now, we fly and then we get big charter buses, which is really nice.
Wow. Do you just fly commercial? Is that?
Yeah. So the only team here that charters is football. The rest of us fly
Football's
regular.
got a big team too, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. But
Yeah. And then like there's. I was talking to the coach, and he goes, "How many people you want to interview?" I was like, "I don't know. Start with the least experienced person, bring him in, let's go." There's 120 players. I'm like, "Oh." He goes, "How about we just do starters?" I'm like, "That sounds good to me."
Yeah, that's funny. 120 of them.
Yeah. I've been down to colleges in Texas, and some of the big, they have their own planes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's nuts.
It's crazy. Even like some higher level women's basketball teams, not only do they charter, but like you said, they have their own planes too.
How amazing is that?
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a big rich school there.
Yeah.
Texas has got some money there, haven't they?
They do, yeah. Especially like with football and stuff. I know they bring their own buses and stuff when they come out here, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But
No, it's so cool. Yeah.
they have so much money.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even realize it. No, it's I know what they cost. Just to buy one of those planes, you're up in the between $100 to $200 million for one of those planes.
Yeah.
Right? And if you get one refurbished, you might get it at a discount, but then you got to refurbish it. And all that sort of jazz. It's crazy.
That's risky.
Yeah. But which is your best state you played in? Which one do you love the most?
Ooh. I don't even know.
And if there was a college team, who would you like to play for? If you weren't playing here.
If I wasn't playing here, I don't know.
Right.
If I could have gone anywhere now, like looking back, I think playing for Coach Bluter and playing with Caitlin Clark at Iowa would have been super cool. I just loved Caitlin's game and all that.
Nice.
But yeah,
Yeah. You're here though.
yeah,
And
I love
we
it
you
here.
Yeah.
Good old Cedar. I love Cedar.
Yeah. So, did you like Iowa?
Well, I can't remember if we played in Iowa, but
The rolling hills, just roll through the.
I know we played in Chicago. I think we did play in Iowa, actually. I don't remember. There were so many. There was like Kentucky, South Carolina.
What's it like on an average? Okay, so if you're playing away, and it's away, not just Utah away. What is that like? How does that work? I don't even know.
So
When would you leave?
let's say we play on a Saturday in Texas. So Friday morning at like 4 a.m. probably, we get on a bus here, bus down to Vegas, and then normally there's 2 flights. Sometimes if we're lucky, we'll just fly direct. But normally there's 2 flights, so you fly from Vegas to Texas, and then a smaller flight to whatever town.
Wow.
Then you get on a bus there, and then we'll actually practice the same day when we get there.
Good. Yeah, push it out.
And then the next day we have a shoot around before the game. So we'll get up early and have breakfast and then go do it's not really a practice, it's not as hard.
How are you feeling at this point? From all the travel?
Tired.
Yeah,
Yeah, and especially with the time changes too. Sometimes our
Yeah, because you're going from here.
if our shoot arounds are early, it's sometimes really rough. You gotta mentally act like it's not that bad, but it
Equivalent
is.
to like 4 a.m. for us over here or whatever.
Yeah, and then after that we normally come back and I'll take a nap before the game because we gotta catch up on that sleep that we missed.
Yeah.
But yeah, traveling, at least for our conference, like having a lot of the teams in Texas, it's really an advantage for them, and it kind of is harder for us and the other North teams, just because the travel's so brutal. Before, when we were in the Big Sky, our travel was not bad at all. Like, I think the furthest we went was Montana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Pretty up there.
yeah,
Yeah, like Montana.
yeah, super pretty.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. So then, and is it all business? So once the game's done, you're out of there that afternoon, like that night?
Yeah, we normally get food and then we'll either leave we'll shower and go straight to the airport, or if the game ends really late, we'll leave the next morning really early.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of brutal. You don't have any time to sort of acclimate to the surroundings. Like, they don't even give you a day.
No.
Like if you're playing Saturday, I think I'd be
We're
thinking-
lucky to have 24 hours from when we land to when we play. A lot of the times, yeah, you don't even have a full day.
Do other teams play like that as well?
Yeah. And I know for other teams, like, they complain about how hard the travel is coming here.
Oh, no, yeah, because the oxygen level up here is not as
Yeah, and they're like, we had to bus 2.5 hours from Vegas. We're like, we do that every single travel trip.
Yeah, it's a bit quiet.
Yeah.
No, that's fun. Yeah, I had no idea about that. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a lot of away games like that, or is it where what in your conference where I don't even know?
Yeah, so in our conference, the travel trips, obviously Utah Tech, UVU, which is close in-state, and then Seattle U, Grand Canyon and Phoenix, Cal Baptist in Southern California, and then the rest are Texas schools.
So that's a pretty big. There's a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
How many games do you guys play?
Ooh, throughout the course of the year, there's probably 30 games.
Okay.
Yeah, so half of them home, half of them away, and then obviously before conference play starts, you could be playing anywhere. We could go play a team in New York if we wanted to, but yeah, so that travel is a lot different. We're playing, I think the furthest game we play this year is Alabama, so.
Alabama would be fun.
Yeah.
Are they pretty serious down there? I'm sure they are. I know the football teams are crazy.
Yeah, we're not playing at Alabama. We're playing, I think it's Jacksonville State, maybe. But yeah, I'm excited. I've never been to Alabama, so that's a new state to check off.
I tell you, I've partied in Alabama, and those people are fun.
Really?
Like it's a good. Once they realize that you're a foreigner, but I mean, I suppose it's different for many foreigners, but me being Australian, me being an Aussie, and being foreign, it's like they just want to show you everything, cook you everything they eat, squirrel the whole lot, you know what I mean? Like, I've had it all. And just the hospitality level is phenomenal. Shout out to Alabama. I've enjoyed, and they have some. They even have a lot of bluesy stuff down there too, so different. Yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to do a road trip through there, you'll enjoy it. It's a good place.
Yep. I gotta steal my dad's van.
Yeah. No, I want one of those vans. I think that'd be phenomenal. Yeah. Shout out to him. Well, that was great. Is there anything you want to? No, you good? I have a question then.
Yes.
Could be with anything, and I ask it to everyone.
Oh yeah. This morning I was like, what was that question? I need to come up with an answer, but I couldn't remember.
It's so easy when it's just at the core of everything, right? What makes the difference?
What makes the difference? I would say hard work. Just separating yourself from everyone else is going to make the difference. Whether it's being a good person, it doesn't come easily. You have to sometimes do things you don't want to do or work hard. And then I think in basketball or whatever, it's the same thing. In order to separate yourself, you just have to work hard and not find excuses for everything.
How do you combat that, like, when you're down and out, you're low, and you're like, I just don't want to do it. What do you do? How do you pull yourself out of that? How do you know?
I think it's gotten a lot easier. My first couple years, it was a lot harder. But now I think going into my last year, it's like, I mean, my dad always tells me, like, these are the best times of your life. Like, you're going to look back on this, and life's never going to be easier than it is right now. And so I think just every practice I kind of look forward to now, especially with having been studying for the LSAT. It's like practice is like easy. Practice is my break from the hard.
Yeah.
And so I think just having that mindset that, like, I get to do this, I don't have to do this.
I think you're gonna enjoy it. Like, it's just now you've already set the habit. And is this the last year for you?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll have to get you before you're done.
Yeah,
I think it'll be
one more.
fun. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sam, thanks for coming in.
Thank you
I
for having
appreciate it.
me.
Yeah, it's always a fun time. Your family's so beautiful.
You're
And
the
I
best.
appreciate all of you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate you. And the boys.
Oh, the boys. Well,
At
they're fun.
camp, they're fun.
Yeah, they love it too.
They're so
They're
fun.
like, they're our friends. Yeah,
Aw.
they enjoy. They're such good kids, man.
Yeah, they're
They
awesome.
work super hard, but and it just fill my heart full.
I can't remember which one, but one of them was like, what kind of animal do you like? And I don't remember
That
what I
sounds like
told him.
Cole,
And he
Jack.
was like, I'm gonna make everyone an origami
That's Jack.
their favorite animal next time I see you.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
I was like, you know how hard it takes you to do one of those
Oh
things?
my gosh, he was writing everyone
Yeah.
down. What
Dude,
they
he will
wanted.
sit there for hours and fold these things and come up. It's like,
That's crazy.
Where-
Does he watch like videos?
yeah, some he just folds himself. Like, he just does it out of his own head. And they look good. He made me this dragon. I think he had a little bit of help with the babysitter that was looking after him that day. But it's amazing. Like, I had to put this thing up on top of my fridge. It looks
Oh my
great.
gosh, good
Yeah.
for him. That's fun to kind of just
He's so creative.
have as a hobby, just sit there and.
Yeah. I was supporting him with anything he was. He was making bracelets the other day, necklaces and things. I'm like, yeah, because
Little
I'm
entrepreneur. Little entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You're out there.
Oh, anything like me, yeah, for sure. But his mum was so super creative too. She did lots of steampunk stuff. She's like, she would work for Disney, she was a designer,
really?
yeah,
Dang.
she kicked butt, man.
That's
Set designer and costume designer.
Oh,
She was amazing.
dang.
Yeah, I miss Annie. She was
There.
pretty,
That's why the kids are going to be artistic and
there's no doubt.
creative and all that.
Yeah, no
That's
doubt at
awesome.
all. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate you. We're going to go to Zach Bryan and get that going. Thank you, YouTube. Super, man, this is great. This is so much fun. Take care.